One of the biggest issues researchers are looking at when it comes to bullying is the amount of access kids have to technology. Whether they are the bully or being bullied, studies show that the rise in technology has also led to a rise in depression and suicide among children under the age of 18. It's an issue parents struggle with on a daily basis.
They're really caught between this rock and a hard place. They want to protect, but they also want their child to have some freedom and some independence.
Finding that healthy balance can be difficult for a lot of parents. But the more involved they can be in their child's online social communication, the less likely their child will engage in bullying behavior or be a victim of bullying. 65% of kids get their first phone between the ages of 9 and 14.
I think social media can be a great positive thing. I also think parents need to do a better job communicating with their kids.
Parents have an obligation to make sure their kids know they're going to check. They're going to be involved in conversations about what they're viewing, what they're doing, what they're sending, what kind of communication is going back and forth with friends, and what's appropriate and what's not appropriate.
An issue some parents run into is that they don't quite understand the different apps on their child's phone. There are so many apps that are brand new, but it's recommended parents get familiar with each app their child uses and be able to monitor what they are sending and receiving through those apps. And sometimes, it's best to just put the phone away.
Technology is good stuff. It's just too much of it cuts into what other things are also valuable, and that's the part that's missing. I think families are more fragmented when everybody's in their own room or their own space in the house on their devices, and people just don't feel like they can connect and talk to one another.
Children tend to mirror what they see. So when an adult around them is constantly being rude to other people or putting others down, a child will usually act in the same way.
Adults should take the advice we give to kids. We have to treat one another with kindness if we expect our kids to do it.
There is no such thing as a perfect parent or a perfect child. There is also no such thing as a perfect solution. But everyone needs to continue to learn from the past and work for a better future.
The day that you think you know it all, you're wrong. Okay, there's always something more to learn. There's always more that we can do.
So what should you do if your child comes to you saying that they think they are being bullied? Most parents want to be protective and fix it, but that may not be the best solution.
The first thing is to help validate the emotion. I think it's really important, rather than parents try to fix it and go in there and threaten and yell and take matters in their own hands. Best to help the child understand the feelings that they have and talk about that, and to make sure they understand that they don't deserve it.
Some think this experience, this pain, will never end and decide to take their own life.
That's the painful part. That's the painful part for me, because when kids do that, it's like, oh, if they just saw it as a bump in the road, they'd see that there's going to be more bumps, but there's such an amazing road ahead of them. And I wish that we could get that message to kids. It's just a bump. You'll get past this, talk about it, make sure your family and your friends know you're going to be fine, you'll get through this. It gets better, it really does. But I wish that we could get kids all to believe that.
Reporting in La Crosse, Victoria Larson, News 8.